Welcome back, Technophiles. And why are you looking at a mess of wires? Well, because for this particular segment of our ultimate setup pimping tutorial, I'm going to show you how to mount very big and bulky devices pretty much out of sight, out of mind. But to do that, you actually have to see underneath my setup as it currently stands. So first we're going to drop the legs on my tripod so we can get down and dirty, as the saying goes. And we're going to try and get this camera as low down as possible because we want to get underneath that table. And that's technically the wall. The table is up there. But if I take you in and up, and all the same, as the saying goes, if we slide here inward, what you'll notice is actually that, well, maybe the lip of my table, I'll try and get this on camera, is pretty big. There it is. So you can see here's the edge of the table. Here's a lip. But underneath it, it actually rises up to just a plain wood base, which makes, at least in my case, it pretty easy to hide all of my wires and whatnot, since I have this massive thing, and interestingly enough, my camera can actually clear it. So as you can see, if we pan up, you'll actually see the top. You'll see what we're going to be mounting. Right here. This is my modem. It's a Netgear. Of course, the first thing we're going to want to do if we're going to be mounting anything is we need to actually unplug all the stuff attached to it, unfortunately. And the second thing we're going to be using is Velcro brand Velcro strips. And the third thing we're going to be using are these pretty bog standard scissors. I think you already figured out what we're going to be doing. Now, the reason I'm doing this instead of hot gluing it is because, and I'm going to be trying to cover this up as much as possible, even though I have changed the information, but there is, of course, all of the relevant information for the administrator settings if I ever reset this. So what we're really going to be doing of course I don't use those settings, but it's never good to have even the base administrator settings visible, just in the case you ever reset it. So all we're really going to be doing is getting a couple of Velcro strips, you need to get a second one of equal length. So I just get a second one of equal length. It could be slightly longer, it doesn't matter. It can also be slightly shorter, it doesn't really matter as long as they're similar enough. These have adhesive backs on them. Bingo bango. Bingo bango. And we want to mount them, so we want to have a similar one above it. Now, the tricky part is you don't want to actually just stick this on here and then stick it up there, because then it won't have a really good, strong grip. But unfortunately, you really should do this beforehand, measure it up. Unfortunately, kind of doing that on camera is kind of tricky, so all I'm going to do, this isn't the preferred method, but it's kind of the best method when you're trying to film. I've got the fuzzy side here. I'm matching it on top of the gripping side on that one. Doing the same with this, so I've got them matched up. Then I'm just going to take this, find a good spot, and you see that's why it doesn't really work, because it doesn't really get a good grip, unfortunately. Pan the camera up. You can now see the strip there. We're going to do the same thing with our other strip. We want to put it about here. Bingo bango. As you can see, because of the way that I had to do it, doesn't actually hold the grip perfectly because of the method of, only one being secured beforehand. But now that at least I've got it in place, I mean, this is easier to do when you're not doing it on camera, obviously, because you're not wasting Velcro. Because you can actually pre-measure this stuff and you're not trying to get everything on camera at the same time. So I'm just going to literally make another strip. Peel this one down, put that one up in its place. You can use alternating style or the same style, doesn't really matter. Then you want to just stick it up there, and you want to make sure you've found where it's going to attach to the other one. So we're going to apply the adhesive down here. Trying to see if I can salvage this other one by putting another one in between. Like lengthwise, but I don't think I'll be able to. But I'll still put it there. Never know. Then tilt our camera up. This is so tricky to do on camera. I'm sorry about that, folks. Line it up. You can turn it around if you like, which is how I like to do it, because I like to be able to see the numbers and the lights as opposed to the ports, because the ports will just be back there. So now, basically, it holds relatively well. It holds a lot better when you're not doing it, again, on camera, because the camera makes things so much more difficult. But what I'm really just going to be doing is adding more strips to keep with everything as smoothly as possible. Just tilt the camera down. Going to take another strip, lay it right next to the first one. Do the same thing up here. And I'm literally just going to build, just for extra security, like a bridge of these things. Another panel one down here. And another one up on the top. You basically just want to have as much gripping area as possible. I've got another one down here. Put another one up at the top. And it looks like down here, it's actually wide. I put more. I spaced them out here more. So there's actually, if you look up, there's 5 of them. There's 5 of them in a row across here, but there's technically 6 rows down here. So what I'm going to do is cut one more strip of Velcro. Put another one in the middle here in the open space. And attach another one up at the top, at the far end. And now they should more or less be even. So when we bring this up, it will hold really securely. And it's nice and secure there. It is really secure. And I can, if need be, pull it down, but you can see how firmly it's holding. Now, you of course should leave it there for a while to see if it's going to hold it together all well, and if it falls down, then obviously you need to put more Velcro on there. But this thing is really firmly on there. But if I pull down, I can pull it off if need be. So it's not permanently affixed up there. I can move it if I need to. And that means that I can now, you see here, it wasn't even evenly on there, and it still held pretty well. See, this one went across 2 of them. So I'm going to put that one back up there. Make sure it's got a nice firm hold. I'm actually going to start building it out more. So I'm actually, since I've got so much extra room, I'm going to put a few more strips here. Give it a nice, super secure hold. So I've got 2 more going on. So give it a really secure grip. And of course you put the gripping sides up, matching with the other ones. So I've got another one at the end of that. You don't need to be precise. That's the thing I'm trying to point out here. You don't need to be precise. You just want to make sure you have as much area that's shared and gripped. So as long as there's enough shared gripping area, you're good. Now I'm going to go and take my wire from my actual modem. And start plugging all my wires back in. This wire here that's going behind the camera actually, it goes to my laptop, my work laptop. So I'm plugging that in. Plug the power adapter in there. I'm going to pull the power plug back out because it's tangled on a few other wires. All these wires will get cleaned up when I am finished here, but for now, this is good enough. That wire is also caught on something, so I'm going to untangle it. The Ethernet wire that goes to the router. Okay, all the wires look like they are free and clear. Stick it up there. Make sure you've got a nice firm hold. And you're done. It's now mounted. I know you couldn't see me put it up because it's kind of hard to hold it up and move the camera up. But as you can see, I've now got my router now mounted underneath my table. And I'm basically going to be doing that with my power brick and a bunch of other stuff. And get them all out of view, out of sight, out of mind, as the saying goes. But the reason I just want to show you this one part here is so when I take my camera out, move it back, sorry, I have bad knees, and that was absolutely murder. And I am not kidding, that was incredibly painful. So as we can see here, we pull the camera back. I don't have a big messy modem on the bottom of the floor. You can't see the modem at all. Like, at all. Because of this lip. But I can easily peek underneath it and see the status. So I can easily... Sorry, I'm unmounting the camera. Peek under. See, there are my numbers. You can see my lights. Everything's good. But when I'm actually just sitting down at my table, doing my stuff, all the wires are gone. At least the router is gone. The wires, of course, can be also Velcroed up or any number of things to get them out of the way. So, like, for example, of course, I will do a video at the end showing everything all cleaned up and in the best condition, but you can see how I could easily move that cable out of the way. And now you've actually removed an actual physical box from your cabling. That box you see in the back is my old power strip. I'm actually going to replace that with this 12 port here. So I'll be mounting that underneath as well. And as you can see, it's a pretty amazing end result if you think about it. So, hope you all enjoyed that video. Peace, and it out.